Hi, 7th grade. Today we're going to be working on lessons 1-8 and 1-9, which talk about solutions of equations. This should be a review for you. Our got it check, we're going to do two of them, page 54, number 2, and page 61, number 1b. Your homework for tonight is page 64, numbers 8 to 16, and your bell ringer is page 36, number 71. All right, let's talk about solutions of equations. So we've done solutions of equations before, and this section, or these two sections, are all about plugging in and testing to see whether or not the equation is true. So a very easy way to check and see if you have a solution to an equation is that you're going to plug in the number for the variable. And then you're going to use the order of ops. So you're going to use PEMDAS, and you're going to find out, is your equation true or false? And that will tell you whether or not you have a solution to an equation. Okay? We can do this for equations that have a single variable. We can also do this for equations that have multiple variables. Okay? So the first one we're going to try, maybe I'll make a little line across this here. The first one we're going to try is 1-8, and these are equations with a single variable. So let's try one for an example. So I'm going to use the example of the equation is 32 equals 2x plus 12, and I want to test x equals 6. And decide, is this a solution or not? Okay? All I have to do is plug in this number for the variable. So remember, when we plug in, we use parentheses. And I'm going to put a parentheses where I see the variable. And then once I have my parentheses, I'm going to plug in my potential solution. So let's see what happens, okay? If I look at this, okay, 2 times 6 would give me 12. And now I have 12 plus 12 equals 24. That does not equal 32. So x equals 6? No, this is false. It is not a solution. Okay? All right, it's time for you to try one. So you're going to do your got it check, which was on page 54, number 2. And your equation to test was 6m minus 8 equals negative 5. And you were supposed to test m equals 1/2. Okay, come back when you're ready. Let's see if this is true or not. All right, so we need to plug in 1/2 for m. So I'm going to rewrite the equation with the parentheses where my variable would be, and then I'm going to plug in this 1/2 for m. All right, let's see what happens. So 1/2 of 6 is 3, so now I have 3 minus 8 equals negative 5. If I do this, if I take 3 minus 8, that does give me negative 5. So I have a true equation. Negative 5 equals negative 5. So m equals 1/2? Yes. It is a solution to this particular equation. Okay, now that we've tried this, let's try equations with two variables. So what we're going to see here, so these are, this is 1-9, and this is equations with two variables. And you could do equations with more than two, but our most common equation that we use is x and y equations. So my example is a very simple equation, y equals 4x, and they ask me to test the coordinate point 3, 10. Remember, from one of our most recent units, the first coordinate is always the x coordinate, the second coordinate is the y coordinate. So when I'm plugging in, I have to be careful that I'm plugging into the right spots. Okay? Let's try this. So I'm going to write a parentheses where there's a y, and I'm going to write a parentheses where there's an x. I'm going to plug 10 in for y, and I'm going to plug 3 in for x. And let's see if this works. I end up with 10, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Uh-oh, those are not equal. So again, I end up with a coordinate point that is not a solution. All right, now it is your turn. So you're doing the got it check on page 61, number 1B. And your got it check is to test the exact same equation, y equals 4x, but you're going to use the coordinate point -5, -20. All right, come back when you've tried it and let's see how it works. Okay, let's test out this equation. So just like last time, I'm going to put parentheses in for both of my variables, and then my -5 is the x coordinate, so I'm going to plug that in for x. The -20 is my y coordinate, so I'm going to plug that in for y. And let's see if this is true or not using order of operations. 4 times -5 is in fact -20. So I end up with -20 equals -20. So yes, this coordinate point is one of the many, many, many solutions to this particular equation. All right, it's time for homework. So try page 64, numbers 8 to 16, and your bell ringer in 3 sentences, page 36, number 71. Bye. Have a great day, 7th grade.